Hey, welcome everybody. We're thrilled to have Robert Earl here. Robert is the chairman and founder of Earl Enterprises, Planet Hollywood International, and Virtual Dining Concepts. We're going to have a little casual conversation with Robert, and hopefully you'll get some really cool ideas coming out of the virtual branding concepts that are coming out right now.
Good morning,
Robert.
Good morning, everyone. Let me just understand, how many restaurateurs are here? My family, great. Please ask anything you like.
So I wanted to start off by saying Happy Halloween. I know you're a big movie guy. Do you have a favorite horror movie, a favorite Halloween movie?
Oh, I love all the Chucky ones.
The Chucky ones are good.
We collect all that memorabilia.
I actually, the writer of those movies went to my high school, weirdly enough, so I've spoken with him a few times.
I even own the axe from The Shining.
Wow, amazing. That's incredible. Do y'all like horror movies? Yeah. Well, I read an interview you did in a Boston magazine recently, and they kind of talked about you being a bit of a brand resurrectionist in a way, which is kind of apropos for Halloween. A little bit of a brand Dr. Frankenstein, maybe, if you will. So I just want to kind of talk about the virtual dining concepts and how that's sort of a new phenomenon. It's similar in a different way from Planet Hollywood and Hard Rock when they were huge, buzzy things that happened when I was young. So how are the new dining concepts through this process? How is that a new kind of phenomenon that's really buzzy and can help people?
Can everyone hear us okay? It doesn't sound like it. So just like yourselves, I come from the restaurant business. Once online delivery started to take off, my team, I didn't really understand it, but they pushed me towards that. And then prior to the pandemic, we started to create brands. And the key to this is, if any of you are doing virtual brands or considering doing them, you must not increase your labor. You've got to try and do it with your existing team. That's the way you can derive good profitability from it. But if you start bringing in extra people, forget it. You will not have any bottom line. Where we are different to everyone else that's in our space is we pride ourselves on our partnerships. We've selected either people or brands that have their own communities. So instead of the struggle that we all have spending large marketing funds with the third-party deliveries to get recognized and stay high in the listings, we tend to work with people like, I'm sure you've all heard about Mr. Beast, which is our biggest success to date. Mr. Beast is a 24-year-old hailing from North Carolina who has over 100 million subscribers that watch his YouTubes. We have a partnership with NASCAR, and as you know, they have hundreds of millions of viewers globally. And all of these partners promote these food brands through their channels, which gives us an extra lift. All of us have been tempted, and maybe some of you do this, to create your own brands. But the difference is we can give you the marketing, a bigger IP, and all of the packaging design and all the food that you can buy through PFG is already spec'd, costed out to make your margins. So we're constantly creating new brands that we're offering, and other companies are doing the same thing. You should look at them all, that we're offering for you to add to your kitchen. And basically you're telling your culinary team that add these items to your repertoire, and it pops up in an integrated manner subject to the POS systems that you have. And really all that's happening is it's being cooked, packaged and sent to the front door instead of cooked and sent out in the room. So it is the way of the future. I'm 100% certain it's going to grow and grow with all these recessions that are definitely coming. Everyone is going to need extra sales. Everyone is going to need to maximize their kitchen. And I think we all learned during COVID that where we thought we were maxed out on our capacity, that once you, I will let you speak in a minute, that once you had extra seats outside, you managed to produce the food for them.
Yes, talking about the pandemic, I mean, you're an owner and operator of more than 200 brands, 200 restaurants. So what were some strategies that you used during that might still be worthwhile to use moving forward?
Well, I'd like to say we had strategies, but we got badly hurt.
Right.
You can only replace so much, and obviously when you're just doing deliveries during the height of the pandemic and you're still paying your rent, the landlords were not very kind. The landlords all deferred, but they never forgave. I don't know if you had the same thing, but now it's catching up on us, so it makes it very tough. We did get government money. We did become very resourceful on curbside pickups, which of course you don't have to pay the delivery company on. And even our virtual brands, we started to allow those to be curbside. But you just have to be as creative as possible and just try and educate the public. But going forward, everyone's restaurants have to try and sort of work through every principle of sit down in the restaurant, curbside pickup, virtual brands, and then working with the third-party delivery companies on your own brand. I feel like the combination of all of those, and of course if you're fortunate enough to either have a drive-through or if you can even apply for some type of drive-through and see if you can change your reconfiguration in your car park and where your kitchen sits, and is there a wall that you could open up into some type of hatch. It's costly, but it really is worth evaluating. We're doing that on every location that we have.
Gotcha. You did open a physical Mr. Beast Burger location, that's correct?
Yes.
Here in Orlando?
No, not yet.
Not in Orlando, not quite yet?
Yeah. Mr. Beast is a burger offering. It's a limited menu with not too many SKUs to bring in to your kitchen. It's a smash burger, and it's gone really well, and it's in over 1,500 people's kitchens. Some of those are enterprise, like Red Robin has it in 400, On the Border has it, several bigger chains. And it's gone so well that we decided to try it as a bricks and mortar. And we got caught out on the first one about a month ago in New Jersey, where over 12,000 people slept the night in the mall to be waiting. They did manage to give me COVID, by the way, because we served them all directly when they came in, and they've been up all night. But there's just lots of opportunities with these virtual brands, and there are some virtual brands that we offer and our competitors where there's no prep to do. An example is, I'm sure you've seen him on TV, the Cake Boss. Buddy Velastri, he has a factory in Jersey, in Brooklyn, Hoboken actually, and he produces these fabulous cakes. He has a machine to slice them. He has a machine to package them, a machine to individually label them, and then he freezes them. And their freezer shelf life is probably 2 years. In the chiller, there's no fresh cream in them. And in the chiller, it's about 6 months, and at ambient temperature, it's a week. So there's no wastage. And basically, they're in the boxes in the chiller, and your team member is cooking away your menu, and it pops up 4 slices of rainbow cake, 2 slices of chocolate to go. They leave what they're doing, go into the chiller, pull the 6 items, put them into a bag, staple it, send it to the front door. That is a dream virtual brand. You should do those all day and all night because you've got no wastage. As long as you've got storage space, the investment is not too heavy, and suddenly you've got another virtual brand.
Awesome.
I'm doing a lot of selling, sorry.
So you always seem to be ahead of the curve when it comes to branding, when it comes to industry trends. And obviously celebrity brands are a huge, huge part of the industry right now. Do you have any thoughts on what's the next kind of phenomenon coming within that?
Yeah, I mean, as a model, our restaurant can't do much more than feed the people that are in the restaurant, feed the people at home with your own menu, and then feed the people with additional virtual menus to completely utilize your kitchen and all of the equipment. Eric, who's speaking next, he specializes in going to people's kitchens and identifying perhaps the slower corner of the kitchen. You might find that you've got a salad corner, and that person working the salads could easily have taken on another brand or two, sometimes with exact ingredients that you've already got. Our latest thing that we'll be launching before year end is a partnership with TikTok. TikTok are the preeminent social media channel now, and most people predict they'll be the last man standing unless the government shuts the Chinese down or something. And I'm sure you all know that viral trends are being created in the food world on a daily basis with TikTok. And people are constantly watching these videos, and up until now they're trying to copy them and cook them at home. But we're going to have essentially a click to buy button, and you'll be able to get those same items through delivery, through a virtual brand. So that's our next thing. That requires the kitchens that we work with to be a bit faster on their feet and more adept, because we do want to change those menus as we go along. Whereas Mr. Beast or our Pardon My Cheesesteak or our NASCAR or our Buddy V tend to just be constant.
Right. Just piggybacking off that a little bit, the next 10, 15 years, the industry's changing so fast. How do you kind of envision the entire industry and where it's moving?
Well, I mean, whether you're a large company or a small company, our biggest issues are going to be labor. I think we all know that with this 2-year sort of abatement, kids have left school and didn't go to work, kids have not gone to college, or kids have left college and haven't had a job, and they find our industry socially unacceptable, working at night, working in a hot kitchen. So we all have to look to see how to simplify on the labor side, and that has implications for you front of house and back of house. Some of these new robotics really do work. They can standardize things and reduce labor. The tech that's out there can really, really help. And of course, I think you're going to see less service in the room, more ordering from cashless, impersonal devices, where we can just cut our labor. I don't think people's food tastes are really changing as much as people would have us believe. I think that if you look at the stock of companies like Beyond Meat, it seems to have plateaued, and we've all gone back to eating as unhealthy as ever. And we're all still wearing sneakers and Levi's, and I don't think the world's changing as much as we're led to believe. I think people still love those same foods, the same fried food, the same meat. Obviously, chicken is growing and growing, and it's back, thank God, in supply again.
Do you, along those same lines, do you see anything in the international space? I mean, people love international foods, all different kinds.
I do. I think that international cuisines are innovative and will always fulfill a certain percentage of the market, but it's like anything. If you drill all the way down and look numerically, or look at your P-mix, or just the number of restaurants that are out there that are still doing burgers or still doing pizza, I don't think the stats ever really change. I think that people have gone off of Chinese food and they're on Thai and Vietnamese, or now Indian seems to be rising.
Sure.
Depends what country you're in.
Right.
In England, Indian is the most popular cuisine because the Indian population since the 1950s has just grown and grown, and it's delicious.
Yeah. Do you love Indian food? I can't get enough of it.
It doesn't agree with me.
Okay.
The spicy stuff.
Got you. What's some advice you would give someone opening up a new operation, somebody just getting into the industry, an entrepreneur getting started?
I think my advice would very much be look for second generation spaces. Do not be too ambitious on the build out. You can always do more retrofit. But at the end of the day, I divide business, whatever business you're in, into seducing the customer in, which we do in our space with celebrity. I've always done that with Planet Hollywood or Hard Rock or now virtual, but don't let that give you a false picture. That just gets the customer in once. After that, nothing has changed. It's price, the quality, the consistency, and the variety. So it's not a time to take very high risk. Landlords generally need us now more than we need them, and don't believe anything different. I hope there's no landlords that are my landlords sitting here.
Cover your ears, landlords.
But generally, my advice is go for it. This is a great time to find spaces, but utilize the real estate that's out there and see how you can use everything that exists there, not change the position of the bar or the toilets for a little bit more efficiency. We've all done it, or I've certainly done it many times and blown millions that don't serve any purpose except my team say it looks good and it's efficient. I think that's honest advice.
Do you mind if I ask you some celebrity questions?
Sure.
Do you have Schwarzenegger or Stallone's phone numbers in your phone?
Yeah, of course.
Can we call them right now?
I think they're probably both asleep. They are 75.
Which one?
Or in the gym.
Which one of those Planet Hollywood partners did you get along with the most?
Oh, all of them. Planet Hollywood, there's quite a few people that would know it. Planet Hollywood was a great sort of neutral ground for a very competitive set of people where they could all come, let their hair down, do bad things.
Right.
And
sounds amazing.
It was fun.
Sounds terrific. Another celebrity question. I know this is, you probably get asked this a decent amount, but do you know Gordon Ramsay pretty well?
I do.
Is he absolutely terrible or is he awesome? I think he's hilarious.
Gordon Ramsay and Guy Fieri are the absolute pinnacle of what you see is what you get. Both of them are exactly like that in real life. Gordon is that British sarcasm like me. He's a fantastic chef with great taste buds, and obviously he's found his medium with TV. Guy Fieri is everyone's best guy. He's a family man. He helps very quietly, doesn't publicize everything that he does, and he is the Food Network. His programming is like 40% of their total programming, and they're both really great guys. I'm fortunate enough to have one business available for franchising called Chicken Guy. There's one here over the road at Disney, at Disney Springs. There's one over in Winter Park, and it's in the chicken space. It's doing really well. There's quite a few being built. It got slowed down during the pandemic, but he's real fun to be in business with. And they really are, both of those characters, identical off-screen.
Really? That's amazing. What do you think is your best restaurant you've ever founded?
What do you mean, to eat in or my own?
Either one.
Anyone here Orlando-based? Only one. Oh, okay. There's a restaurant the other end of town that it's the only place in the world I drive 45 minutes for. I've been going there since it opened about 38 years ago. It's called Enzo's on the Lake, and it's spectacular. Every dish, to my earlier conversation, every dish is still identical. Maybe one pasta, the supply chain dried up, but everything is made exactly the same way. And so you just build a following like that. And everything is really hot. For any of you with sit-down restaurants, are some people here with sit-down service restaurants? I don't understand why people don't warm every plate. It is one of the most basic secrets. They do it at Ruth Chris to an insane degree. They dedicate an actual oven to it. And sometimes if you've eaten there, they're so hot they have to put a liner plate underneath. And then their other secret is they spray a little butter so that it sizzles when it goes out, which is, everything needs a little theater. I'm straying a bit. But anyway, you should use hot plates. It just keeps the food hotter and the perception. So Enzo's on the Lake is my #1 go-to, and I have one in most cities.
Okay. Linda, sign me up for a reservation tonight. We gotta go.
We'll host you.
Should we open it up to
Sure.
questions from the audience?
Please ask anything
Any questions?
that you'd like, anything that would be useful or... Oh.
Any questions at all? Operational, celebrities? Robert's got all kinds of great stories and information, I'm sure.
Okay. We must have answered
It's a
everything.
quiet crowd. We need more coffee out there. Do we need some more coffee, Linda? Okay. Well, thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
joining us. This was fantastic.
My
I
pleasure.
really
Nice to
enjoyed
meet
it.
you all. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.